Hello and welcome to Board Jack, here to do another reaction video. This time I'll be reacting to the Hennessy Cypher 1. As you all know, I sort of jumped the gun earlier when I did the Cypher number 3 because I was a huge MI fan. I really wanted to check out what he was gonna, spit out, and I ended up discovering new artists over there, especially Signals, who I thought was absolutely fantastic. I know a lot of you don't really agree with my assessment that he had the best lines or best bars overall than the other, Vector. Well, Vector, that's a separate case because I had a hard time actually understanding him. But from what a lot of you actually some of you actually left in the comments down below, kind of explain what was being said, and I thought it was great. But again, it was kind of hard for me to actually decipher what he was actually trying to convey, especially the parts whereby he actually added, I guess, localisms. I mean, the Pidgin English one, yes. He also added references to events that actually took place that I wasn't aware of, so it was actually hard to figure out what was being said. And also certain events that took place here in the States. That has to do with Drake. It completely went over my head, so I had no idea what was being meant. But I thank you guys for actually letting me know in the comments down below what was being said. So that was great. But still, I think Simas actually did a fantastic job. And Emma was great. And Jaga, Emma's bro, was also pretty decent. So that was actually very interesting. Jesse Jaga, yeah. So that was actually great. So I saw that and I was like, you know what? Screw it. Let's just go right down and do the rest of the cipher. We start with one and then the following second cipher, and I'm curious to see if any other artists would actually stand out. So without further ado, I guess let's get this reacting party started. Right now, this is going to be cipher 1. And from what I say, it says SDC, CDQ, and FALZ. Oh, FALZ. I do know him. So, I mean, I've reacted to a couple of videos from him. I think 2, if I'm not mistaken. So, that should be interesting to see. So, hopefully, I'll be wowed with all the ciphers I'm about to experience. So, without further ado, let's get this reacting party started. This is cipher 1. And the artists are SDC, CDQ, and FALZ. I have no idea what SDC or CDQ stands for, but it should be interesting. Let's go.
Bang bang.
Ghost, Shadow Champ, okay.
Like AI, call me the answer to artificial intelligent rappers claiming they're making moves, mistaking motion for action.
I love that. I love his voice. It's very deep. It's very resonant, and I love how it starts. AI, artificial intelligence. Wow. All right. And obviously, for those of you who don't know, I'm going to be pausing quite a bit. It's what I do whenever I do ciphers. I do apologize for those of you who, for those of you who actually hate that. But unfortunately, it's a cipher. You've got to try to break that as much as possible. So that's what we're going to do here.
Bang bang.
Show them camp, sorry, SDC.
Like AI, call me the answer to artificial intelligent rappers claiming they're making moves, mistaking motion for action. This is rap vigilantes and from the African garrison.
I love that. Claiming to make moves, mistaking notions for actions. Oh, that is crazy. That is cool. That is very interesting beginning.
Call me the answer to artificial intelligent rappers claiming they're making moves, mistaking motion for action. This is rap vigilantes and from the African garrison. Far from your average mumble rap shenanigans. We murk tracks, bruh. So yo, order a hearse, cause another beat is about to get slaughtered with this verse.
With other tracks are rehearsed because another beat is about to slaughter with verse. It's crazy, man, how the interactions. Wow. All right. One more time, guys. I'm going to take it from the beginning. And yes, I didn't talk about AI. That was actually, I think that's also a reference to the artificial intelligence movie. You know what? Let's not even go there. We all know what AI is. So let's take it back. But I really love what he did with the murder and the beats and the hearse. And it's how it just correlates with one another. I guess you could call it bars. This is gonna be one of those, I'm afraid.
Bang, bang. Like AI, call me the answer to artificial intelligent rappers claiming they're making moves, mistaking motion for action. This is rap vigilantes and from the African garrison, far from your average mumble rap shenanigans. We murk tracks, bruh. So yo, order a hearse, cause another beat is about to get slaughtered with this verse. Broad day, I got witnesses to observe, like when Frank Lucas shot Tango and left him on the turf. Listen, like Inception, it's a disturbing scene. How these niggas still.
He just made a reference, obviously, for the Frank Lucas. He was a huge gangster back in the, I believe, 60s and 70s. So he was an African Harlem gangster who, let's just put it this way, he was one of the big gangsters back in the day, and apparently there's a whole rumor going around. It's not really confirmed. I'm not certain whether or not he actually put down Tango, who I believe is also a rival gang lord. It's been a bit murky, and that's it, whether or not he was actually responsible for it or not. But yes, I love the fact that he actually brought that in, and obviously Inception too. So that should be fun. I'm just gonna take it back to the hearse section, which I absolutely love. And I know I missed the whole African garrison thing. I think it might actually be reference to what's happening. The vigilantes and the African garrisons, like you have vigilantes out there, if I'm not mistaken, in Nigeria, trying to, deal with the Boko Haram situation. I am taking a leap there. I'm not 100% certain that's what he was talking about, so please do not quote me on that.
For action. This is rap vigilantes and from the African garrison, far from your average mumble rap shenanigans. We murk tracks, bruh. So yo, order a hearse, cause another beat is about to get slaughtered with this verse. Broad day, I got witnesses to observe, like when Frank Lucas shot Tango and left him on the turf. Listen, like Inception, it's a disturbing scene. How these niggas still sleeping on a reoccurring dream.
There you go with Inception.
Back working, serving the fiends, these luminous raps, so niggas can't avert the beams. If you in the scope, with a Doc Dre, some murkage. If you the goat, shit, I'm a Fulani herdsman. I'm at your throat. This is Ghost. I'm trying to mouth off.
I love that. If you're the goat, I'm the Fulani herdsman. The Fulani's herds the goat, and he's like, oh wow, that is some crazy line, man. Sorry, gotta take it back there. Love what he's doing. I did mention the Inception part. He tied in Inception. He even brought in the concept of Inception, the movie from what's his face, Christopher Nolan. Brilliant movie, one of my all-time top 10. I think it depends on my mood. It's usually number one and number two in my top movie of all times. It usually switches between the first Matrix. So there you go. All right, so let's take it back again.
If you in the scope, with a Doc Dre, some murkage. If you the goat, shit, I'm a Fulani herdsman. I'm at your throat. This is Ghost. I'm trying to mouth off like you really want this smoke, cause that's just loud talk.
Smoke.
Show them. Chopsticks Alfano. Yeah, I'm feeling they respect us when they play this now. In conversations about the greatest, they debating how we never faded in the later rounds. We took something truly African, we tapped it and we made a sound. This show them shit should be a movie.
Yeah, take it back. I do apologize. Oh, sorry, not that far back. Let's get back to tech taking over. Sorry, I'm using a different computer and everything, so it's a bit weird. More like a tablet, actually.
Talk.
Show them. Chopsticks Alfano.
Chopsticks
Yeah.
Alfano.
I'm feeling they respect us when they play this now. In conversations about the greatest, they debating how we never faded in the later rounds. We took something truly African, we tapped it and we made a sound. This show them shit should be.
I love how, when he's talking about the greatest, that's a boxing metaphor, and he actually incorporates it into the whole African rap hip hop scene and how it's changing and how they've made it there. They've created their own, ecosphere, so to speak, and it's absolutely amazing. Yeah, so that's pretty good.
A movie, if that's no motivation, then I don't know what it could be. We level up, tell the labels to settle up. Independence out the gate, they've always been scared of us. Ha! Who made it farther? Name some rappers that spit harder. A decade since when they started.
Okay, yeah, so yeah, it's, you know, I guess with the proliferation of YouTube and all that stuff, it's like it's been easier for actually, relatively easier for artists to actually gain traction by being independent. Being independent as opposed to actually signing deals with record labels who basically could end up turning some of those contracts are basically slave contracts, so to speak. It's like you've heard Kanye West complaining about his contract. I'm not quite sure with what label, or TLC, prime example. During their heights, during the first two albums, I believe they were the biggest, hugest group of all girl group of at the time, and their contract was so terrible that they went home practically broke. So yeah, in this day and age, it's great that you have the option to whether or not to sign with a major label or stick to your own, do your stuff, and build your own, you know, brand from the grassroots using social media and the works. So I like what he's talking about. All right, let's take it back a bit. And yes, the record labels are scared because they will definitely go out of business if it actually becomes a very successful business model.
Scared of us, ha! Who made it farther? Name some rappers that spit harder. A decade since when they started. A lot of our peers that charted back then have now departed. Regardless, we kept the bars up. I came through in the TARDIS like Doctor Who's the target, hey? Bang, bang. With the pen, I'm Joe Pesci.
The fact that he actually mentioned Doctor Who just automatically makes me a fan right now. It's like, no, there's no question. I'm going to have to check him out. That is brilliant. Well, I'm a huge Doctor Who fan, just so you know. So this is really great. He just incorporated it into his stuff. I really love that. I really enjoy it.
A lot of our peers that charted back then have now departed. Regardless, we kept the bars up. I came through in the TARDIS like Doctor Who's the target, hey? Bang, bang. With the pen, I'm Joe Pesci. Imagine me trying to spar with the best rapper in Lecky. That's like Youngie will be trying to measure up with Messi. He won't gel. These guys can't ride on my coattails. That's facts.
I love that. Yes, he did talk about, you know, I guess the old rappers who charted and how they disappeared. I'm not quite sure if he's actually referencing the fact that he's actually one of them or not. I'm not 100% certain, but he's still there. Regardless of all that, he's still there and he's still dropping bars. So that may be a mistranslation on my part, a misunderstanding on my part, but you never know. Let's just continue. And now we got FALZ.
Hey, the beauty. Oh boy, yeah. Feel it, more dabby tanker. Other rappers be like power bike. Hell overtake, but we are go reach. Niggas never can. I move outside like the one nobody bringing hell on me. Timbala coolin' into bad dollar on my bello me. Other talk by on to shit to oh my see. My luck be where Calais.
Okay, I can honestly say yes, I do have a hard time understanding because he's speaking. I think he's rapping in Yoruba, if I'm not mistaken. So that is interesting. But so far, I mean, he has this sort of guttural feel to him, and I'll very much appreciate it if you guys actually let me know what he's talking about in the comments down below.
On my fetch, I see I'm unstoppable, you can't stand on my way. The bar blocked on me and I'm at Bekweo highway. I service on Tommy on your fake ass and silicone. I'm a rare breed like unicorn, more jewelry, I saw really boy. Ali John rapper.
Okay, he's mixing English and yeah, I did hear him say something about I think he did use Arse My Way in context or something, and also that he's actually rare like a unicorn. So okay, I'll give him that.
Back from Poche Bunusi, and the mother back and kind of seal, Bevon Burusi. Once it's Jorobo, only milk, be motion speeds fire after fire, and no milk. Bam, my mission, like me, Toti, la milko. I'm better breaking water, damn, only cocoa, big tanko. Roughly. This one, you're not roughly.
All right, I feel like a complete tool right now. I thought I was actually FALZ obviously I don't know what files look like. So I do apologize. I have to take it back and try to figure out who the artist is, because that is weird. Okay, all right. Obviously that was his face, the previous guy. You know what? I'm not gonna edit it out. It was a case of me not paying attention, and I completely screw that up. So I do apologize. Yes, I know I made a mistake, and yes, it was still CDQ. I think Tech. Yeah, that's what his name. So it was still Tech. So my apologies, guys. I was trying to decipher, and I wasn't really paying attention. And yeah, we're gonna take it back to Tech, switching to Yoruba and whatnot. Nope, I was wrong again. I'm just gonna edit the whole thing, and we're gonna start back to this section. That wasn't Tech either. I completely spazzed out. All right.
Hey, yeah, the beauty. Open, yeah. Feel it, more dabby tanker. Other rappers be like power bike.
CDQ.
Hell, overtake, but we are go reach. Niggas never can. I move aside like don't want nobody bringing hell on me. Timbala coolin' into bad dollar on my pile me. Other talk by on to shit you. On my currency. My luck be where call it streets. On my fantasy. I'm unstoppable, you can't stand on my way. Never block on me like I'm a highway. I service on Tommy on your fake ass and silicone. I'm a rare breed like unicorn, more jewelry, I saw really boy. Ali John rapper, back from Poche Pinusi. And the money back and can't see, Bevon Burusi. Once you Jorobo, only me go. Be motion speeds fire after fire, enemy bro. Bam, my mission like me to Titi, like me ko. I'm better breaking water, damn, only Coco be tanko.
Sipping on Hennessy.
Roughly, this one you're not roughly, brush you, this one you're not roughly. Like say you day on top, your one night stand where you want bust. Like say you not prepaid the 50 where you don't talk. See?
Oh wow, okay. He's being really cheeky about it, so alright. I really like that. Rough play. And you want boss.
You're not roughly, brush you, this one you're not roughly. Like say you day on top, your one night stand where you want bust. Like say you not prepaid the 50 where you don't talk. See?
Oh wow. Oh wow, he's good. Yeah. Sorry, gotta take it back again. But yeah, it's very interesting what he's actually doing right now. So
roughly, this one you're not roughly, brush you, this one you're not roughly. Like say you day on top, your one night stand where you want bust. Like say you not prepaid the 50 where you don't talk. See, put it on me money, you go find the deficit. There's a very low chance you no go jam your nemesis. Only thing that might be lower is your life expectancy. But that no be my fault, I'm just a fine celebrity that's trying to spread the message of a final legacy. I'm classy to my taste buds, my choice of brown is Hennessy. The type of man to buy a house before I buy some necklaces. I know they brag, I show it in a bag. You don't get too tasty, bulala, we know they.
I like that. The fact that he says he doesn't like to brag. He's the kind of guy who would actually buy a house rather than a necklace, which is actually kind of smart. It's very smart to actually do, because those could, I guess, houses do appreciate in value, while necklaces, it all depends and could depreciate or could easily lose it, and it doesn't really have the same potential unless it's something really extra special for a more robust income or whatever in the future. So let's continue.
Come back, your baby day my yard now, she come for. Before I buy some necklaces, I know they brag. I show it in a bag. You don't get too tasty, bulala. We know they come back. Your baby they.
Okay, I'm sorry. He just said he doesn't like to brag, that he just bragged about his bulala. Okay, yeah. Okay, he's being really sarcastic. It's sarcasm, I guess. Okay.
my yard now, she come for long back. She don't want to talk love now, but I don't just want spark. I'm not a preacher of love, but I'm also not a preacher of war. I'm a peace, I'm a vibes, and I'm ghost. Come raise your glass, make we toast.
Chopsticks.
Oh, I get it now. Chopsticks is actually probably the person who made the beat. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was great. I really did enjoy Shadow. I said Shadow, sorry. The first guy. Why am I having a hard time remembering who the first guy was? Let's see. All right. Let's pause it for a second because I'm having a hard time remembering who the first guy is. All right, obviously that was Ghost, and also I'm gonna have to check out his stuff because I really love the way his delivery. I love his voice. It's very different. It's very, I don't know, grounded, and I love how he just came out. It was like bang bang, and then he went from AI. Then he talked about a bunch of stuff. Inception. He actually connections to the dream. I mean, the whole concept of Inception, and tie that into. Yeah, it was very interesting how well done it was, and also the fact that he murdered the beats, and then he covered it with the hearse, and it was like it just created this whole image which enhanced what he was actually trying to convey, which is great. So I guess, as I said, the bars, the context, the way he actually delivered his cadence was actually very interesting, very refreshing, it's very different. So that was actually fun. And yes, I was actually gonna, edit out the whole section whereby I completely made an ass of myself twice. I mistook CDQ for FALZ the first time, and then tech the second time, and I have no idea why my brain completely spazzed out of me. And yes, I am aware that that was really dumb. But yeah, ultimately, in the end, with FALZ, it's sort of a reminiscence of what MI did in the third one, whereby he sort of rounded out in a way the whole cipher and sort of made a statement, a general statement or a statement of how things are. A little bit sprinkling of his own, and I love the contrast, or I guess the contradictory message he was sending about not liking to brag, and at the same time he ends up bragging, which is very interesting. He was being a bit sarcastic, or I wouldn't use the term sarcastic. I mean, I prefer, I would say, tongue-in-cheek about what he was actually saying, so that was actually great. That was actually a refreshing pace. FALZ, yeah, so he was actually pretty good. I really love what he did. I'll say, in my opinion, due to the fact that I wasn't quite sure exactly what CDQ CDC was talking about the majority of the time, so I can't really CDQ, I can't really give an assessment as to who the best is, so I'll have to take him out of the equation and say I really enjoyed Ghost, followed by FALZ, and then Tech. So that was great. All right, so yes, guys, that was Cypher number 1, Hennessy Cypher 1 2020. It was great. It was enjoyable. I love the beat. I love how it sounded, and it was just great. They all came in, they all delivered. And when I say my ranking does not mean that they were actually what's his name, CDQ was actually CDQ Tech was actually bad. It just meant that the bars set were really high. They all did very well, but I preferred FALZ and Ghost. I preferred Ghost actually more than I did FALZ. Ghost I really enjoyed than FALZ and Tech. And obviously, I can't really talk much about CDQ. As I said, didn't really understand what he was talking about, which is not a fault of his. It's actually mine because of my lack of my inability to actually learn languages, basically. So that's about it. All right. So with that said, This is your boy Jack. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification button. Let you know when next drop a new video. Don't forget to leave comments down below. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you want me to react to. If you've got nothing to say, just say hey. That's absolutely okay. If you disagree with what I've said during this reaction video, or wish to expand on what I've said during this reaction video, please don't hesitate to leave in the comments down below. All I ask is that you be constructive about it. As we all know, constructive dialogue makes the world go around and all that good stuff. And yes, I'm in a different location. It happens. I'm elsewhere, which is why this whole reaction video is a bit of a struggle, because I'm using I'm using a different equipment than I'm normally used to. So yeah, bear with me. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you enjoy the reaction video, and I will, I guess, see y'all on the flip side.